Hey everyone, my name is Jack and I'm passionate about ultra learning and living it as a lifestyle. In this video, I'm going to be providing another monthly update on how the project is going, as well as discuss what I've learned over the past month and the challenges that I encountered along the way. To those of you that are new to my channel and may not know anything about the project, a couple of months ago, I finished reading the book Ultra Learning by Scott Young and felt compelled to start my own ultra learning project. This project has taken the form of a personalized learning curriculum that focuses on both business and AI. The curriculum itself is composed of a mixture of online courses, textbooks, and personal projects that I believe will lead to the accumulation of the necessary knowledge and skill set required to become a future AI entrepreneur. As of now, I've successfully completed one of the courses in my curriculum, and I'm now sharpening my math skills by working through a variety of different courses offered by Khan Academy. So for the past month, I've just been focused on learning the basics of algebra again, and that's where a lot of my accomplishments were made. So let's speak more about that. So the first accomplishment I'd actually like to discuss in more detail is the fact that I actually completed the Algebra 1 course this month. The reason that this is quite important is because this was my goal for February, so I've successfully achieved it, which of course feels great, and it shows that I'm on track to continue working through my project. But the other reason why this accomplishment is really important is because I now feel more confident when I'm dealing with math, which honestly, prior to taking this course, I really did not feel confident about my math skills. And I'm just happy to say that now I have a good foundation to keep building on as I keep going through these different courses. So another thing that I'm proud of achieving over this past month is that I didn't miss a single study session. And I haven't really spoken in much detail about my schedule, but what this essentially means is that from Monday to Friday, from 7 a.m. till 10 a.m. every day, I was studying algebra. And it's true what they say. I just made the point that I gained more confidence in math again, but I think a huge part of this was turning up every day, being consistent, and that's actually what led to me getting more experience and therefore feeling more confident in my math skills. So that wasn't easy to do, and I'm proud of myself for turning up every day and putting the hours in. The final accomplishment that was made in relation to the topic of algebra itself. I now finally feel as though I understand the purpose of algebra and why we use it. And this was quite an insight for me because throughout my entire time studying maths at A level and even studying engineering at university, I was always using algebra, but I can never quite grasp why, to be quite frank. But now I feel as though I do, and it's actually quite easy to explain why. So the first reason is that algebra is the language of mathematics. So it enables us to communicate more clearly and more effectively about what's happening mathematically in a given situation. The second reason is that it's a great tool for solving a variety of real-world problems in a very systematic manner. And the third and final reason, which I would say is the most interesting and was the most novel insight for me, is that we use algebra to model real-world phenomena in order to better understand the behavior of the phenomena itself. So for example, stock price is a solid example of this. Stock price, being the real world phenomena here, will have a set of variables. These are essentially the things that could influence the stock price itself. So we may want to create an algebraic model to simulate the behavior of a given stock price. And we might want to do this because it could help us make better investment decisions. It may give us a better idea as to where the economy is going and how that's behaving too. And in general, it could also give us a lot of information about how the market is also working as well. So hopefully you now understand the purpose of algebra just like I do. I'm certainly proud of what I accomplished over the past month. But it's also true that there were a couple of challenges along the way. More specifically, there was just one challenge, and arguably it's more of an area of improvement, to be honest. So this area of improvement is how I analyze my answer when I feel as though the answer is incorrect, or when my answer is incorrect and I'm trying to figure out why. So for anybody that hasn't solved an algebraic problem before, especially one that requires multiple lines of working out to solve the problem, there are a couple of common mistakes that learners, including myself, typically make. So the first one is a sign error. So a sign error is when somebody has incorrectly put a minus in front of a number when it should be a positive number, and then therefore this error gets carried through line by line and affects the final answer of the problem. Similarly, it's also possible that learners perform the wrong operation. So for example, they might have multiplied a number or a term when they should have divided by the number or term. And again, similar to before, this error gets carried through and affects the final answer, which makes it incorrect. And the third mistake that learners typically make would be that they apply the incorrect strategy. But to be honest, this is a lot easier to identify because your answer normally tends to be very weird and very strange. So that one's easier to spot. So in terms of how I intend to improve this part of my problem solving skill set, it's quite straightforward. So the first thing is to remember and catch myself in that moment when I need to perform these checks. So that's the first thing, to become self-aware. And then the second part of it is just to execute this analysis line by line and just see if I've made a sign error and if I've performed the correct operation. And I believe by doing so, I'll quickly develop this skill and become a more rigorous problem solver, which is something that I'm aspiring to be. Naturally, achieving my goal of completing the algebra course this month means that it's time to decide what my next goal will be. As of now, I think a great goal for myself would be to now move on to geometry. I plan to do this by studying the basic geometry course and the high school geometry course offered by Khan Academy. So this month, I think a realistic goal would be to complete both of those courses in order to keep progressing on my mathematical journey, essentially. And I have to say, despite having a lot of fun solving algebra problems this month, I've just solved hundreds of them that I'm now excited to venture into a different area of maths and expand my knowledge and skill set. So there you have it, guys. That's everything that I accomplished and learned about this month. If you're learning something yourself, I would love to hear more about it, so drop a comment in the comment section below. And as always, if you like this video and you want to keep up to date with how the project is going, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And again, thanks for listening, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.